Hi, I'm Brian Shifman, President and CEO of the Vaughan Chamber of Commerce, and we're here once again for a CEO Speaker Series. We've had a number of them, and they've all been exceptional. Today we had Chief Deryn Rizzi from the Vaughan Fire and Rescue Service, and you are Ontario's first female fire chief in an urban setting, and we're really proud to have you. And we had a great, candid conversation, and as we always do, we'll ask a few of the questions that we heard great answers to, just to cap that for those who weren't able to be in attendance.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so I thought I'd just kick off with when you were talking about when you first got into the Vaughan Fire Service and what it was like back then. Obviously, there were a lot less women at the time, and Vaughan's made tremendous progress. Maybe you could talk about that.
Absolutely. So I started in 2001. At that particular time, there was a core group of women that were combat challenge champions, and they were on the front of the Oxygen magazine. Before I was even hired, I took their picture, I put it on my fridge. They were my role models. But you're right, you would work on crews that there were no other females. You would go to calls, get off the fire truck, and members of the public would sort of look in awe or almost disbelief in regards to a female firefighter because they hadn't seen it. You're starting to see more and more female firefighters in the fire service. Vaughan Fire and Rescue Service is proud to say that 10% of our force is women, which is more than three times the national average. In Canada, 3% of the fire service is women.
That's incredible. There's a lot of progress.
A lot of progress.
And you're certainly a role model. And you actually had a great answer to the importance of role models and the importance of men being role models to women. Can you talk about that?
Right. So today we talked about male champions, so men that help promote women by providing opportunities, by providing mentorship. And so we talked about how sometimes men perhaps are concerned about the perception of that mentorship relationship, but how important it is, especially in non-traditional work environments such as firefighting, in which there are no women role models. So it's very important for the men to step up and provide that level of expertise and mentorship, just like my former fire chief did. Fire Chief Larry Bentley, he was on the fire service for 39 years, continues to be a role model. Even though he's retired, I'm able to reach out, talk to him. He can provide me with advice.
So your advice for the Vaughan Chamber members that have males at the C-suite is that they should be looking to be mentors to more women in the workplace?
Absolutely. It's critical for the success of women to have other people that they can bounce ideas off of, that they can ask questions to, get support from. So whether that is men or women, but as you know, in C-suites, it's generally men. So if the men can step up and take that role, it's imperative for the success.
I think it's helpful, and we need more diversity overall. One of the other challenges we talked about was the stigma of talking about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and how it's challenging for police or fire to come out and admit that that's a challenge for them. How's Vaughan Fire doing, and how do we get more people to be open with a pretty serious issue?
So we take our program, it's our WFI program, Wellness Fitness Initiative program, very seriously. We're in our third year currently. We have a peer support team. We have a standard operating guideline, so if they go to an MVC with a fatality, it will trigger other support services coming in, such as a psychologist or a psychiatrist. We have a mandatory stand-down period, so the firefighters will come off of the, I don't want to say the shift rotation, but they'll not be on call for 3 hours to give them time to decompress. And so also we talked about how Forbes magazine just recently talked about in North America, more firefighters in North America have died by suicide than they have in structural firefighting. So it is an issue North American-wide that we're all trying to cope with right now.
I'm glad we're making some strides there.
Absolutely.
We talked about social media.
Yes.
And we were joking around because you're very active on Twitter and some other social media accounts. And so my question was and is, how do you protect your brand and project it? And how do you do the same for the fire department?
Absolutely. So branding is very important. You always want to highlight your accomplishments, things that you're doing that you're proud of, that you're that you're proud in terms of your organization, what they're up to. And it also is a way for you to promote what you value, intrinsically what you value as a leader, and what your organization, what you value as well. So we try and push out, obviously we talk about service excellence, that is paramount to our organization, the service to our citizens, and for myself, I talk about different issues in the fire service, just to get people thinking and talking about what is going on a day-to-day.
Well, and it gives you a chance to get the message out about all the great things you guys are doing.
Absolutely.
Have you tweeted about the event yet?
I have not. I'm waiting till we finish this interview, and then I will go very heavy on the tweeting. Obviously, we did leading up to it, but not
okay.
today.
And all jokes aside, last question.
Yes.
We just interesting discussion about extreme weather events.
Yes.
And how do you prepare for that?
Yes. So in the city of Vaughan, we've had multiple extreme weather events. We've had flooding, we've had the tornado, we've had the ice storm. So in regards to all of those things would require technical skills, our firefighters to have technical skills. So we follow something called Technical Rescue NFPA 1006. So there's 19 chapters of different technical skills and the competencies that firefighters need. So we have an in-depth training program that our firefighters follow, and we ensure right now where we can certify under those competencies we do to ensure that our firefighters have those skill sets and they're verified by a third party.
Very good. Chief Rizzi, thanks again.
Thank you very
we
much.
Appreciate having you here.
Thank you.